everyone, episode 4 is out, and as predicted, the thumbnail was green. At this point I have no idea what the episode thumbnail colours will be, but it no longer follows any particular relevance. Compared to last week's episode, this was much better. A lot happened in this episode, so it's actually pretty awesome. Firstly, we can see that at this point, the story is definitely going in a different direction here. I won't read the manga to spoil the fun, so it'll be interesting seeing how everything unfolds from here on out. It's good to see the main characters all in this episode, where everyone essentially had a line. The episode started off really funny. Of course, this episode is all about Misaki, so you gotta mention that she might be a girl gang boss. The whole stealing incident definitely gave a sense of realism that actually happens in real life. It was funny seeing how Misaki drove away the thief, and also how everyone, including Shin, applauded Misaki for that. So far, the minor dialogue in the characters really show off their personality. Kai is definitely much nicer, and of course Aichi is still afraid. It's nice to see a little development in Aichi as he offers a card fight with Misaki. At least we can say for this one that Misaki actually chose to play of her own free will instead of having Shin force her to play. This was a good way of developing Misaki as a character by giving her the thought of hoping to change for the better by playing Vanguard. Of course, the hype was to see her play OTT, and it's awesome. Seems that they do skip a bit of the early battle and proceed to Aichi riding Blaster Blade. On Misaki's turn, we get to witness the final imaginary gift, Protect, which is essentially a perfect card. That's awesome, so now we've all seen the 3 imaginary gifts. Of course, it has been confirmed each type is only exclusive to specific clans, but still, it does bring some potential for the clans to gain new imaginary gifts in the future perhaps. It's very nostalgic to see the old OTT units again, and also loving the explanations of the different rules. One thing I found disappointing is that the interactions with the units are losing uniqueness. It will seem that some units will just reply the same thing, like no problem or yes sir, yes ma'am. Unlike the original, Misaki's backstory on her parents' passing isn't so detailed. I do wonder if we will get more details about this in future episodes. We do see that by the end of this fight, Misaki is much happier. It's cute. It was cool to see how Kai and Miwa stepped into the conversation too about Misaki's eidetic memory. It was quite a decent explanation of how she got it. As an overall, this was a fun episode and I enjoyed it far more than last week's. Very nice of Bushiroad or this Vanguard channel to also release a separate video on some of the key rules of the game. We also see in this episode, as demonstrated by Misaki, that you get additional imaginary gifts by riding a grade 3 over another over and over again. This may change the game as it's played in the future. This will definitely affect whether players want to play premium or just choose to focus on standard, as imaginary gifts seem to have more about them than you might think. Last thing I like to point out, this episode showed off a lot more about how the store actually looked, which was pretty cool. I always wondered why there were always these railings with glass, now I know why. It leads to a lowered arena special for spectators to actually watch the whole battle. That's pretty new. Well then, that concludes the review. Did I miss anything? If so, tell me in the comment section down below. Was happy to see that Morikawa actually wasn't in this episode, but I guess he'll have a full episode next week. Oh well. Didn't really like this version of Morikawa. I actually prefer the original version, the one that's obsessed with grade 3s, but let's just find out next week. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.